All active duty soldiers are expected to be fully vaccinated by today. Army Reserve and National Guard units need to be fully vaccinated by June 30th of 2022. When the DoD made the announcement in September, the Army Surgeon General said it's, quote, a matter of life and death for soldiers, their families, and communities. He called the COVID case count and death toll concerning, adding mandatory vaccinations are a health and readiness priority. Service members can be exempt from being vaccinated if they have a legitimate medical, religious, or administrative reason. People who refuse will be counseled, and if they still don't comply, they'll be discharged or disciplined. Each branch set a different deadline. The Air Force's was November 2nd. The Air Force discharged 27 active duty members for refusing to get vaccinated against COVID, the first to be discharged over the Pentagon's vaccine mandate. The next hurdle, the military's Reserve and National Guard, whose pay comes from the feds. In November, the Defense Secretary ordered all members to get vaccinated or lose pay and be banned from drills and training. Missing drills can mean demotion or discharge. The Air National Guard deadline already passed on December 2nd, while the Army National Guard doesn't have to be fully vaccinated again till June. More than 400,000 people serve in America's National Guard, including thousands here in the state of Idaho. Idaho's National Guard sits 34th for vaccination rate. Hundreds haven't been vaccinated against COVID yet. Lieutenant Colonel Chris Borders told me 86% of Idaho's 1,300 airmen are at least partially vaccinated. 76% of the 3,100 people in the Army Guard have at least one dose. Combined, almost 300 medical and religious waivers have been submitted. The Guard is still processing those, so no one has been discharged yet. Aside from a handful of medical waivers approved, Borders says they haven't made decisions on the requests. The Pentagon directed the National Guard to process people for discharge who refuse the vaccine. It'll be handled on a case-by-case basis and doesn't necessarily mean they will be discharged.
This very well could have negative consequences, both in terms of recruiting and retention. We stand to lose personnel over this mandate. The Adjutant General of Idaho is the discharge authority for Idaho National Guard personnel, and it is his intent to make this a non-punitive issue. So vaccine status will have no bearing on the characterization of discharge, but those people could be facing discharge.
So just to make that really clear, Borders says they're still waiting on direction from the National Guard Bureau on whether discharge will be honorable or not. But the governor controls the National Guard at home, so how can the Pentagon enforce this mandate? Well, Borders says the vaccine is a Department of Defense readiness requirement for reserves to keep their federal recognition and carry out their mission.
The numbers continue to grow in the Idaho National Guard. The vaccine rate is continually climbing. So people are, coming to terms with it and choosing to get vaccinated.
Meanwhile, governors from 5 states sent a joint letter to the Defense Secretary asking him to reconsider the mandate for the Guard. They argue it's beyond the DoD's authority.